Hi, this is my first Friday discussion video, and I'm pretty excited about it. Every Friday, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna ask my warriors, you guys, to message me a topic that you guys want me to talk about. And this one is about overcoming addictions, drugs, alcohol, and self-harm. And here we go. So I asked three warriors to share their stories, and they fit the topic. And I just want to say that I'm really, really proud of them because I know how hard it is to share what you've been through, to revisit those memories. And they're going to remain anonymous, but here's the first story. So when I was in middle school, I was bullied a lot. Kids would tell me I'm ugly and worthless, and I should go kill myself because nobody would care. That was when I was around 12, and I started to cut myself. I would cut every morning before school, so I would be numb throughout the day. When I turned 13, the teasing and bullying didn't stop, and I then began to steal my mom's pills. I would take a pill every day before, during, and after school. I was so out of it, I barely passed my classes. That summer, I made a new for the first time. Soon enough, I was smoking weed daily and popping pills. When I was 14, I drank alcohol for the first time. I was going to parties and getting wasted and having sex. Freshman year, I met a girl, and we shot up meth together every day. I also tried cocaine. When I couldn't get more meth, I would do Vavencine and Adderall. I don't know how to pronounce it. One day, I crashed really hard off the uppers, and I began really depressed. I tried to kill myself, and I was admitted to a mental hospital where I stayed for 10 days. I was diagnosed with depression and bipolar disorder and anxiety disorder. They gave me all sorts of pills for that. When I got out of a mental hospital, I switched to a different high school. I continued shooting up meth and snorting pills like Xanax and Adderall. I went to rehab that summer, and I got clean. And then I relapsed on heroin when I was 15. I sold my body for drugs and got molested. I sold my pills for heroin and would do basically anything to get my next fix. Whether that would be stealing from family and friends or from the till at work. I lost all my friends and made new ones at the trail. I met a guy and we did heroin all day, every day together. I had living two lives. The girl who my family thought was sober and doing really well in school, and the girl who was panhandling off the streets to get heroin. I broke up with the guy and met a new one, and I had lied to him and told him I was clean. But really, I was stealing his money to buy drugs and lying to him all the time. My manager at this fast food place I worked at, she became my dealer, and we would smoke in the bathroom at work every day. Soon enough, everyone started to find out the real me. My family shunned me. I had no true friends, and I dropped out of school. One night, I overdosed at work. I was taken to the hospital, and they shot me up with Narcan and adrenaline. I was then sent to detox. It was horrible. I was vomiting, crapping myself, had massive heartburn, body aches, sweating but shivering, and I could not sleep. After detox, I went to rehab for 2 months, and then I decided to go to a recovery house for 2 months. Now I have my GED, great job, and am looking to enroll into college. I have 7.5 months clean, by the grace of God. Here's story number 2. I had taken my first drug the last day of 7th grade, and it was the start of a twisted lifestyle. I guess you could say I was an addict from the start. So I swallowed those 5 pills of ecstasy. Something in my brain chemistry sparked a marathon of drug use. I thought it was so amazing what this person has shown me. I took more, feeling excited about how I will feel. Discovering that I could do this any day made it a lot better at this time. The same day, hours later, I had experienced my first time smoking marijuana, and damn, it was intense. As time moved on, my drug use progressed from the end of 7th grade into 9th grade. Recreational use turned to more of a habit. I caught myself thinking the way an addict would, showing certain behaviors an addict would, and smoking regularly and popping pills. I had started getting into alcohol, drinking every now and then, but wasn't able to handle myself so well. Drinking became a regular thing to me as well. Knowing it was unhealthy, I would try to control it, but yeah, right. And I ended up drinking the whole thing sooner or later. I would mix drugs and mix drugs and drink alcohol to numb myself, and also just for the sake of being high. Later that year, I started getting into psychedelic drugs, which became my drug of choice. I stopped going to school to go do what I want, which was to get high. I started losing feeling my body. I couldn't walk or stand straight. I needed these drugs to feel normal again. I was in desperation. My family life started becoming affected by my drug use as well. I could not communicate how I felt or what I was thinking or how my day was. I would just isolate myself and get higher. At this point, I could not function properly. I ran away from home for a couple days to detox and get my mind straight, but I couldn't. I became angry with myself and everything else. I would eat mushrooms, drink alcohol when I felt like I needed to calm down, and I had the craziest highs ever. At this point, I knew I was addicted, but it wasn't until January of the next 2 years I decided to stop. I was forced into sobriety after overdosing. My mentality was so damaged, I had become suicidal and thought there would be no hope for me. As I entered treatment programs and attended AA meetings, I started to find myself again. I've done a lot of self-reflection. As drugs and alcohol started coming into my thoughts again, I would call someone or distract myself by coping in a healthy way by writing about it. I sometimes am still paranoid about my suicidal ideations. I feel that now I have other things to worry about, and I just don't have the time to get high anymore. I can live without it. I am now over a year sober. Story number 3. My first cut was when I was 9 years old. My mother was only home during the nighttime. I had a babysitter during the summer, who I still considered my second mother. This was for 7 years. My grandma was always critical of me, and my mom called me fat at 8 years old. I did ballet and was the heaviest in my class. My grandma never came to my recitals. My grandma's cousin Ginger was always there. She called me Doodlebug because I always drew her pictures. Ginger was my favorite person ever. She was 63 when she died. My dad got a phone call in the middle of dinner, and my grandma told him that Ginger was got hit by a drunk driver. My depression started then. 2 years later, on the same day she died, I cut. I used a knife from the kitchen and cut my wrist. After that, I didn't cut for a year. Then when I was about 10, I got sexually assaulted. A man grabbed me from behind when I was walking alone. I was on a corner, and his house was the one on the corner. His door was open, and when I got inside, he got on top of me. I was laying on the floor. He pulled down my pants and started playing with my breasts. He kept repeating, "Good girl, don't scream. Make no sounds, little girl." He hand reached for my hair, and I bit his hand and kicked him in his groin. I pulled up my pants and ran. I ran so far. I didn't even know where I was. I was terrified. My friend was walking with his friends, and I asked him to take me to his house. I got there and called my mom. I didn't ever tell anyone anything. After that, I never trusted anyone and cut every week. I used a bobby pin and took the soft tip off. That went on all throughout middle school. I got called cunt all 3 years when I walked into my math classroom. I got called slut, and every guy tried to touch my ass. I was an object to them. Whenever I walked into the bathrooms and the girls walked right out, they even made a booklet called How to Act Like a Slut, My Name Here. And then they made how to look just like the slut, My Name Here. It hurt. I was more depressed than ever. In 7th grade, I was anorexic and only had 3 small granola bars a day sometimes. I was so thin, I got addicted to ibuprofen and took 10 to 20 every day. I got down to 105 pounds. I was 5'1". In 8th grade, I got better, but had an abusive relationship that was on and off. I started using bulimia and self-harm as a way to cope. He broke up with me and his family moved. After that, I thought everything got better. I started using pills again. But I wasn't cutting or binging. Then I moved to a different location, and the high school workload was too much. I cut 5 to 10 times a day. On my legs, shoulders, hips, wrists, sides, everywhere. I am now covered in scars. That was only freshman year. I would always take a razor to school with me and went to the health room. I had my razor with me, and once they closed off the curtains, I cut up my forearm. With my arm dripping, I told the nurse I needed help. I got sent home after 5 people were helping me patch up my arm. My family took me to a hospital, and I got into a small concrete room with a big steel door and a camera in the corner. I was there all day being tested, and then I spent the night also. My whole spring break was spent all hospital visits, counselor sessions, and therapy appointments. Sophomore year was a lot better. I got on new medicine and have been self-harming a lot less. I do things that make me happy. It gets better. 9 years old to 16. It gets better. I am so proud of these people who shared their stories, and I am proud of you who is continuing to stay strong. I'm proud of all my warriors. I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of the bully who was nice to this kid today. I'm proud of the self-harmer who didn't cut today. I'm proud of the self-harmer who is 1 hour clean. I am proud of you who is watching this, breathing. I am proud of everyone, and I really do care about you guys. I don't do this just to get likes. I've been there before. I know how it feels to be alone. I've been there before, crying on the floor, cutting myself. I've never experienced drugs or alcohol, and I never will. But those who have, those who are experiencing it, these stories prove that it does get better. And it really does get better. And I want you all to stay strong, and I want you guys to be comfortable to share your story to me, because I'm here for you. I'm never leaving, and I'll be here every step of the way. Even if you relapse, I'll be here with my love, and I care so much. I can't say that enough. I'm so proud of you all. And before I start bawling, just know that I'm here, and thank you for sharing your story. And it really does get better. I'm an example. I've been struggling with a lot for 7 years, and I have my bad days, but I truly feel happiness now, and I find happiness in helping people and helping you guys. So I don't want you guys to hold back, because I am here. I don't want you to think that you're a burden to me. If someone says you're a burden, you are not. You are especially not a burden to me. I'm always here, and I care, and I love all my